Hey everyone, so before I start this video, I just have to say thank you for all the recent support. It means a lot, as my channel wasn't looking so good since the whole Wriothesley strike thing, but you guys have been supporting me so much and I really appreciate that. If you want Fifi more in the channel, just let me know. So let's discuss Wriothesley's best artifact sets. In my opinion, the Wriothesley's kit at first glance looks a bit complicated because he has a lot of stacking mechanics, especially losing HP and getting additional damage, and it's clear what his best artifact set is, the Marechausse Hunter set. I believe I pronounced it properly, right? Now I believe majority of the damage that Wriothesley will be doing is normal and charge attack, so he will definitely benefit from the 2-piece of this. But it gets really crazy when you incorporate the 4-piece set, and the fact that he could take advantage of it almost 100% of the time, even better than Linnea. Again, I cannot stress this enough, but missing that first crit with Linnea is a big DPS loss, and I find it kind of difficult to keep those stacks up 100% of the time. Could be user error, but I see no difference running the Marechausse set on him if you have very good pieces of Crimsons and Gladiators. Now Wriothesley can trigger this set for 100% of the time. Once he's doing normal attacks and he's above 50% HP, he will consume a fixed amount of HP every 0.1 seconds, plus he has a passive that will restore 30% HP if he has 60% less HP every 5 seconds, once he does his buffed up charged attack. So unlike Linnea, you could get away with running like 50% crit rate with Wriothesley because he will stack the crits of this set very easy. So again, I could see this unit with like around 50 crit rate and about 250 crit damage. But don't forget about the attack percentage. So even though that 250 crit damage will look good, depending on if you play him with Bennett or without Bennett, you might want to run an attack goblet instead of a crit damage goblet. And the weapon that you choose for him depends that, because his best in slot weapon does give him crit rate, but it gives him a lot of stack like attack percentage, and it increases the normal attack and the charge attack damage depending on if he loses or gains HP, plus it has attack speed, so it's just a cracked out weapon for him. But if you're like me and you just go for the characters, the only option of 5-star weapons we may have is Skyward Atlas, which then I would say using a crit damage goblet will be better. But if you have something like the Lost Prayers, again it depends on how much attack he has, but I have been doing a lot of tests with Linnea. Sometimes, if not a lot of the times, I see that using an attack goblet with the Marechausse set does give him a little slight over the edge from the crit damage goblet. So I think for the general player, this set will be a go-to set since it's unconditional. He could get the stacks up by himself. He doesn't need any help. It's like it was made for him. But it's not to say that this other artifact set that I'm going to mention isn't like kind of equal to the Marechausse Hunter set, but it's a bit conditional and you won't want to run it in every team that I talked about previously. Honestly, Blizzard Slayer set, this set is very similar to the Marechausse set, but it might actually give him a little bit more damage, as I really think that 20% cryo damage from the 2-piece is a little more valuable than the 15% normal and charge attack damage from the 2-piece Marechausse Hunter set, because he does have a burst. He has an ultimate that does quite a bit of damage, and the Marechausse Hunter set does not buff that ultimate damage. But again, this team will restrict him a lot, so you could say goodbye running him in a meld team because, well, he won't get that stack. You get 40% crit rate from the Blizzard Slayer set if the enemy is afflicted with cryo and if they are frozen as well. And if you think that you won't get that 40% crit rate buff from the Blizzard Slayer set if you are fighting bosses, once you get that frozen status on them, even though they are not visibly frozen, it still triggers it. Now with the Blizzard Slayer set, I have a Ayaka with 260 crit damage, I believe, and I get more damage when I switch to an attack goblet and drop her crit damage to like 190 or to 200 and have a lot more attack. I think her damage goes up to like 2, maybe 3k, which actually stacks up to be a lot because her burst ticks a lot. Now for me personally, I will not be going for his weapon, so the options that I have is Skyward Atlas and Lost Prayers. Most likely I'll use the Lost Prayer on him, and that gives like a lot of crit rate, so it solves any crit rate problem that he will have. And most likely if I don't have a very good Marechausse set, I will run a 2-piece plus 2-piece set. Now with this you have a lot of options. 2-piece Glads, 2-piece Shims. You get 36% attack with these two sets, so it solves that attack attack problem. 2-piece Glads, 2-piece Blizzard Slayer set. I think like this one will be the most competitive set to use on him if you don't have a 4-piece Cryo set or a 4-piece Marechausse. Just like Linnea, I get better results with 2-piece Glads, 2-piece Crims, so I have high hopes for this 2-piece set. 2-piece Blizzard, 2-piece Marechausse. 15% normal attack and charge attack damage bonus and a 20% cryo damage bonus. Very good. Now if you're wondering if you could run the 4-piece shims on him, yeah, but I won't really recommend it because you will want to burst with him. It doesn't trigger anything that I think so from looking at the sheets here, but the burst does quite a bit of damage. Not as much as Ayaka, but it does contribute to his DPS. Another 4-piece set that I want to mention is the 4-piece Wanderer's Troupe. He's a catalyst user, so he will get that 35% normal and charge attack damage bonus. Plus it gives him EM, so if you're running him in a meld team, which I think that you will want to run a EM Sans on him because he will get the attack from Bennett. Similar to Hu Tao, I get better results with a EM San than an HP San or an attack San, which you shouldn't run on her when I'm doing Vaporize. So once he has Bennett on the team and he's within that buff, it will solve that attack problem, and running a EM San on him will benefit his melt damage. But with the Wanderer's Troupe, it already gives him 80 elemental mastery. So if you get like 20 more EM from substats, it will be like very optimal because a lot of Hu Tao mains with the Staff of Homer always recommends having around 100 EM. Hopefully it applies to him too, which I strongly believe. And well, I think I covered it all. That's my suggestions for Wriothesley's artifact sets. He's very flexible to build and really easy, if I had to say. It's not like if you don't have a 4-piece Marechausse set, you're losing out on a ton of damage. It depends on which teams that you are using him in. The Marechausse set will be the easiest one to use for him, but it's not like a big difference like if you're not using a 4-piece emblem on Raiden Shogun. They are very, very comparable. Now I don't have any sheets to show you that the margin is very slim, but just take my word for it. I do a lot of testing, but the Marechausse is his best set because by himself, unconditionally, he does trigger the 4-piece of it. And well, if you're in Fontaine, you should be farming that set if you already have like emblems and shims and glads and stuff for your other characters, because I strongly believe that Furina, the Hydro Archon for Salos, she will be using a set from that domain. But yeah, leave it to us below what you think about Wriothesley, Rizz, and the artifacts that I mentioned. Hit a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.
Stars shining really, moon visions in my sight, landing nowhere within sight. Had to take her with me, she was tasty to my sights.